Dr. B and Mrs. B, empty nester lifestyle. Ba-da-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da, la 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 la.
We are back. That's right. We are back to the Dr. B and Mrs. B Empty Nester Lifestyle Show. That's right. Empty Nester Lifestyle Podcast Show, everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Mrs. B.
Welcome back, Dr. B. Hello, everyone.
It's been an active several days, again, as usual, during the summertime. And this is podcast show number 25. Number 25, Mrs. B.
Yes, it is. We are moving up there in the numbers on the episodes of the podcast we're happy that you enjoy it. You know, when we sit down and do it, but we're happy that you enjoy it.
We enjoy that we're doing these podcast shows because they're very, very relevant to what's going on throughout the universe, but particularly here in the U.S. And this show, I'm going to give you a title, Mrs. B, and I'll let you think about it. This podcast show, number 25, is all about parenting. Parenting. Think about that for a little while, Mrs. B.
I am thinking about that, and we have a lot of years of experience in parenting. And there's no doubt about that with 3 adult children now. And, you know, our parents raised children too. So
Actually, 33 years of parenting. Let me take care of some business.
That's correct.
I want to thank all our platforms, our podcast platforms, Podbean, Apple Podcasts. I want to thank all the Apple Podcast listeners. They're coming up big time on our stats. And so we really want to thank the Apple Podcast listeners, Podbean, and all the podcast platforms. A little shout out to Podchaser as well. Podchasers and Podmaker. We've been contacted by a couple of agencies that want us to fit into some of their potential platforms as well. So we want to thank their participation, Mrs. B. And we want to thank all the listeners from the United States and the different states such as North Carolina, Texas, Indiana, Missouri, Louisiana, Michigan, Arizona, and the Washington, D.C. area. So we are being listened to by several states, Mrs. B.
Well, thank you. And those wonderful people in the states that Dr. B mentioned, I want to thank you. We appreciate you.
Very much so. So, reason why now we're getting back to the topic of parenting, and this is a little setup, y'all. Yes, Dr. B and Mrs. B, Empty Nesters, we have our fantastic website, Dr. B and Mrs. B, EMPTYNESTERSLifestyle.com. And you know what I've been doing, Mrs. B? I've been doing the search engine optimization research strategy after it's been produced. And guess what? One of the biggest terms that have been as keywords been coming up was parenting. Parenting. And all of a sudden, it's blowing up on the internet. Everyone is talking about parenting. What do you think about that, Ms. B?
Wow. You know, it kind of surprised me because I was used to over the years being in parenting groups, mom groups, such as Club Mom, Mocha Mom. Club Mom was online, and then Mocha Mom, and then Dr. B and me, Mrs. B, we go to different events, play dates, kids play dates over the years, and then we go out with our kids and we talk about parenting. We read a lot of books on it. We read a lot of books on it. We've been to several places, classes, our own experience, our family experiences, family reunions, some advice. And so over the years, parenting is just a natural part of what we do. Guidance is what we do. It's something that fit naturally into our lifestyles. So I know that's a lot of information out there about parenting, but I was surprised that the topic of parenting has grown so much that it would not be a normal process of what you do, whether you call it parenting or nurturing or mothering or fathering. And so I can only attribute some of that to I suppose the pandemic, the post, they said post COVID, but the COVID pandemic restrictions and a lot of things that occurred after that. And I think part of that is what occurred in terms of media. And so part could be the distance in technology. And so parenting has always been important. It's important and ingrained into my family and Dr. B's family. And so it's interesting and surprising a bit that it has taken off so much in the media when it's just a natural fit as a normal part of the daily process of life as mother and father and children, right? And that's what I think of it. So when Dr. B came to me and said, let's do something about parenting off of our research and data, and it was also in their prior of the topics we were talking about, but for it to go that far, that's a positive thing. I welcome that.
You welcome it. Oh, okay, I get you there. But now, what's so fascinating? It's been in the news, it's trending, and yet there's been a number of couples in the news, and I'm not even going to mention the couples in the news about parenting. But guess what? I did a deep dive on parenting, and let me just preface this. And you did a great job about talking about our lived experience as parents. And I'm going to reiterate, we've been parents for 33 years.
Yes.
Think about that, Mrs. B.
Oh, yeah.
You and I have been parents to 3 grown kids now for 33 years.
Yes.
Let's not overlook that lived experience.
Oh, definitely don't overlook it. We never have, but don't overlook it. I know in certain parts of discussions, topics, media, information, it can be overlooked. And at one time, the trend and the insight on that, when I was watching the different types of topics and research, is that at one time, I was thinking about 10 years ago or 20 years ago, there was a lot of information about parenting, mothering, mentoring, childbirth, as well as child care, feeding, lactation, all those things. Taking your family with you, guiding your children, traveling, and they would have all those amenities and all the services around that supported the family and supported the parenting. And then somehow or another, when we went to the next decade, those things began to fall away. And you didn't see that much in the media. It became more sensational, more in terms of talking about pop culture all the time, very individualistic, very single-minded. And then parenting dropped down, which is odd to me because it's a natural part of life. That's always an ongoing thing through ancient times, beginning of time till now. And then it kind of picked back up. But that's a value that should never drop out of sight as a fly by night trend. So that's what surprised me. I'm happy to see it back.
It's definitely
And
back.
that's where the 33 years of experience comes from.
It's definitely back. And this is a reason why I want to dive deep into parenting. Because once I did a deep dive on this, I'm going to read, please bear with me, a few pages of why parenting is so important today in 2025. And here's some of the things and issues in which we were going to turn in this direction as anyway. But here are certain issues of which Mrs. B and I can talk about and have shows on. For example, Mrs. B.
All right, I'm listening.
Here's a general list.
All right.
Parenting Gen Zers. Parenting millennials, how to parent toddlers, parenting your toddler, parenting your young children, parenting your daughter, parenting your son, parenting children for school, parenting children for public schools, parenting children for elementary school, parenting children for middle school, parenting children for high school, parenting children for college, parenting your child for private college, parenting your child for public college, parenting children for socialization, parenting children to handle socialization, parenting your child for real world socialization,
Wow.
parenting your child for socialization to other cultures, parenting your child to socialize with other kids, parenting 101, day-to-day parenting your children, day-to-day parenting your elementary school kids, day-to-day parenting your middle school kids.
Wow. And the list goes
What do you
on
think about
and
that
on
list, Miss
and
B?
on.
Just not right now.
That's only half of the list. That
That's
Dr.
not
B
even
wrote.
half of the list. Here we
It's
go.
not even
Day-to-day parenting your high school children,
Wow.
parenting your child through sporting events, parenting elementary, middle school, and high school athletes, parenting your advanced honor child, parenting in different school systems. Guess what, Mrs. B? Parenting in North Carolina, parenting in California, parenting in Maryland, parenting in Arkansas, parenting in Indiana, parenting in Georgia. That's where we parented. Those particular states, Mrs. B.
Oh, trend insight there, as well as following demographics and populations.
But those are places that we had to parent our kids
Yes.
in each and every step.
Yes. Exactly.
6 states. And
6
the
states.
parenting was different in each state, Mrs. B.
Yeah, according to the people, the way of doing business there, the way of living, the family life,
Just interaction with your kid
interaction,
and how you had to,
cultures.
we had to adjust
Oh, yeah.
parenting our child based upon the school system in each and every state.
Yes, each one was different, but also similar across America. And I remember working at the Parent Coordination Center in Indianapolis, and when we lived there. And it's interesting because in each state that we went to or relocated to, for that period of time before North Carolina, that we've been here for going on over 20 years, I remember going to each school system. We would check it out. We would find out the area, the quality of living, quality of life, the value system of each area, the schools, the organizations, the workplaces.
Don't give too much information. That's a show, Mrs. B.
The
Okay,
churches,
let's
all that.
Yeah, so don't go into detail.
Yes.
Here's some more topics. How to prepare your kids for public schools. How to prepare your kids for going to school. How to prepare your kids for elementary school. How to prepare your kids for middle school. How to prepare your kids for high school. Like I said, how to prepare your kids for athletics. How to prepare your kids for a different school system. How to prepare your kids to be disciplined. How to prepare your kids to be responsible. How to prepare your kids to be independent. How to prepare your kids to go to college. How to prepare your kids for higher education. How to prepare your kids to be responsible citizens. How to prepare your kids to be respectful to elders. How to prepare your kids to interact with others. How to successfully relocate to another city with your kids. How to prepare for the development of living in a city. Relocating to a new city with your kids. What do you think about that, Ms. B?
Oh, we did mostly all of that.
We did all of it. That's what I'm saying. These are topics that Mrs. B and I actually have lived experience, of which we will have a show on many of these topics, such as relocating to a new city, relocating to Houston, Texas, relocating to Indianapolis, Indiana, relocating to Little Rock, relocating to Gaithersburg, Maryland, relocating to Frederick, Maryland, relocating to San Pedro, California, and relocating to Greenville, North Carolina.
And Winterville, North Carolina, yes.
And Winterville. And and we'll provide parenting tips, parenting styles, effective parenting, first-time parents, how to become a better first-time parent, parenting a new baby, how to take care of your new baby, what to expect from your new baby, what to expect from family and friends with a new baby, preparing for childbirth, preparing for day of delivery of new child, how to manage each day with a new baby, how to reduce the stress and anxiety with a new baby, how to find relaxation with a new baby, what to teach a new baby, how to parent a new baby, how to find peace with a new baby, mother's role with a new baby, father's role with a new baby, how to parent other siblings with new baby, how should we communicate with our new baby, how to keep your baby healthy, how to keep your baby clean, how to start developing motor skills with your new baby, how to play with your new baby, how to recognize the personality of your baby, how to adapt to the personality of your new baby. And here's one of the biggest. What is FAFO parenting? I'm going to stop right there. What do you think that is, Miss B? FAFO parenting.
That's a new one on me.
That's a new trend that's going around right now. FAFO.
A long list of good topics that we know about.
This is short. FAFO is the first F is a bad word, but I'll say fool around and find out parenting.
Wow.
That's what is going around now in 2025. New parents are following the trend of allow your kid to fool around and find out how they should experience life without discipline. Just allow the kid to experience life.
So they just said, forget about it. FAFO. Just basically saying, let the kid do and let everything just be what it is and figure it out later, which is not a good strategy.
No, it isn't. And matter of fact, again, that first word is a bad word.
Yes, a bad word.
I use fool, but it's actually a bad word.
Not a good idea to use profanity.
No.
For
but that's the acronym for it.
Yeah.
But the FAFO parenting is a big trend right now.
And you definitely don't want to use that around small children. You better go somewhere, close up the door if you get mad or something.
So we're gonna dive deep. You and I are gonna dive really deep in the FAFO parenting, Mrs. B. I just putting that on your radar.
No,
we're gonna dive deep, and what are the types of parenting? We're going to dig deep in these areas because it's what people are doing with their kids today.
I get it. It's concerning.
So we, as a lived experience of 33 years, we can provide some input.
That's true.
That's all.
That's true.
Okay. So what are the types of parenting? There's also permissive parenting, authoritative parenting, uninvolved, neglected parenting, authoritative, like I said, authoritative parenting. And what type of parenting do you practice with your kids?
Yeah, we definitely have some knowledge and experience, as well as values, moral values, or good deeds.
And this is the reason why. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That topic. We definitely have some experience to share on parenting, and on what is a good thing to do in terms of comments and suggestions and experience and knowledge.
Lived experience,
and what is not something that you shouldn't do. That's not a best, way of doing things. Not productive. I was gonna say not a best practice. That's why I was kind of holding back my words. But I thought best practice is more collegial, more workplace, more what you would do if you would follow a certain type of ideology of belief. So when parenting, there's a difference. When you're parenting, you try to find the best way to nurture, care, and love, and the best way to guide, and the best way to say, what is best for the child, what is best for the parents, and what is best for the family as a whole. And so those are differences.
There you go.
In other words, I want to mention, don't bring, I would say, how work is, and what you do at your job in terms of caring and one-on-one and family group discussions, because we would do that all the time, and we'll get into that later.
We'll get into all of that
Don't
later.
bring
Mrs. B.
that to your strategies at your work and bring it home to the kids, and then make the same strategy at your workplace, because they're two different types of ways,
Okay,
and
okay,
two
Miss-
different
Mrs. B.
types of caring and caring about what you do, and it's just a different type of way of handling your own family situation, and also boundaries as well.
Thank you, Mrs. B. And we're going to go in detail on a lot of these topics because this gets personal, and we want to provide some guidance. But one thing that I'm learning about this, there's a lot of folks that just doesn't know how to parent, and so we're going to start off with a broad topic and dive deep into many of these subtopics, Mrs. B.
Yes.
And we're not going to tell folks how to do it, but we're going to provide our lived experience.
Yes.
And part of our values, but also lived experience and strategies. And successful strategies. Why successful strategies? Because we've been fortunate to raise 3 professional adult children.
Yes,
so
we have.
we do have evidence that our parenting skills have worked.
They have worked, and they've been successful, and they've been caring and loving, and through difficult times, difficult discussions, through agreements and disagreements, through wake up calls,
And we got
we
it.
overcome, and changing our attitude, behavior,
Always changing, always adjusting,
and
always adapting
changing our personality or persona
at each phase, particularly
each
now
phase
as
for the
empty
better.
nesters.
Yeah,
So
for the
there you
better.
go, Mrs. B. This is show number 25. We are going to dig deep into parenting. With that said, only thing I have to say right now, I'm proud to be a parent.
So
Peace
am
out.
I. So am I.
Peace out.
Peace in.
Dr. B and Mrs. B, empty nester lifestyle. Ba da da dee da dee da dee da, la 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 la.